Hare Krishna. It's a great fortune here to be having the association of His Grace Sankarshan Das Adhikari Pr here at BCEC. This is called Bhakti Center for Education and Culture. This place is called as BCEC.
What's that?
BCEC, Bhakti Center. This place is called BCEC.
BCEC?
Yeah, Bhakti Center for Education and Culture.
Wow, that's pretty transcendental.
So it's one of the
Bhakti Center for Education and
culture.
Culture. Wow. That's what we need in this world. We need some culture.
So it is one of the preaching centers. It is one of the preaching centers in Pune.
Wow.
And it's a very dynamic center, very wonderful devotees. Almost 25 brahmacharis and 400 congregation devotees and many devotees who visit on the weekends.
That's simply wonderful.
And they're coming up with a very big temple. And coming 2 years, very huge temple. 30-story building, we have 5 stories for temple and then 25 stories for devotees to stay. So that project is coming. And so it's a great fortune because the success of life is to have a moment association of great souls. That cannot be compared with even attending the heavenly planets or anything of this world. So we have the association with the Sankarshan Das Adhikari Pr. He's one of the early days disciple of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He met devotees way back in around 67, but then later he met them again and again. And in 1971, he met the devotees and finally surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. He got initiated in 1971, 54 years back. And since then, he has been very consistently, steadily practicing and preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. And he's a very dynamic preacher. Even before coming to Krishna consciousness, he was, into that mood of creating a revolution in this world to inspire peace and harmony. So that time he was a musician, he was writing songs and playing them on the guitar and traveling to many, many places, even during the time of hippie revolution. There's a book, The Divine Love Memory, will show it towards the end, where the whole biography is there. So he has that mood, he has that mission, but he was not knowing how to do it. So when he met devotees, especially His Grace Vishnujan Prabhu, His Holiness Vishnujan Maharaj at that time, then he got an idea how to actually make it possible to create a revolution in the world. And then further, he wrote several letters to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada guided him, instructed him through his letters, which are his very life and soul, very guiding principles. And since then, he has been there in the movement, doing multiple wonderful services, right from book distribution to being the temple president and being a cook to a pujari, everything what comes on the way. And he has been a brahmachari for many years, almost 14 years. Later, he got married and continued his preaching mission. And then he has been a very worldwide traveling book distributor. He has a van and traveling through book distribution. In the year 2000, the GBC bestowed their blessings for him to be the spiritual master. And since then he traveled more and he started traveling all over the world from that time. And from that time, he started the initiative of online preaching. Now online preaching is well known to everyone. But in the year 2000, in those days, it was very less known. So from that time, he started the initiative called Thought for the Day. So he used to have a thought of the day based on Srila Prabhupada teachings, and that used to be sent by email to many, many people, thousands of people in those days. Even I was connected in 2002 through this thought of the day in my college days. So through that, he got connected to seekers throughout the world, and that's why he would travel. He would travel to Europe, he would travel to India, he will travel in US in different places, he will travel to Australia. So this is very great speciality that he has disciples all over the world actually. When his Vyas Puja is there in Vrindavan, then it's not like that devotees are given a chance, the countries are given a chance. The country is represented by a group of devotees and they are given a chance that, okay, this country, and then also several numbers, big numbers, where each country gets a slot and they can perform a skit involving many devotees, or one of them can give an offering like that. So it's a very interesting phenomena that because of his internet preaching, he has been connected worldwide, and later on he started, making a video of the day, and that he sends. So it's consistently, no matter what happens, wherever he is traveling and all, the thought of the day, video of the day is consistently going. And anybody can write a question, and sure enough, he will get an answer. So connecting to thousands of people and replying to them personally is something very, very miraculous. And through that, he initiates devotees, and they are very wonderfully practicing. He is perfectly following Srila Prabhupada's teachings. He read his books several times. In those days, to hear Srila Prabhupada lecture, he would miss his lunch actually. He would miss his lunch to hear Srila Prabhupada lecture and make notes. Because, he was working and there was less time, so he would prefer to hear the lecture rather than taking the lunch. So, he has been coming to Pune from almost like 2008 or so, every year, once, sometime twice. And it has been our great fortune that we have been in his association and being inspired by his kirtan, by his enthusiastic lectures, and especially his questions and answers. He can answer, dozens of questions within very short time, to the point. So you all will be given a chit where you can write, because in hearing there's a little, problem, so writing is better. So now that course has grown, that, ultimate self-realization course has grown to almost like 30,000 students now. And it's worldwide. Every day these people receive the message and they can communicate and they can learn the study. Then many books have also got compiled based on the teachings, which we will display at the end. The Divine Love Memorial and Truth Works and Stop Worrying, Start Living. We will display them toward the end. So in spite of his such, advanced age, although the body is giving so much trouble, but his enthusiasm and spirit of preaching is consistently and continuously growing. He appeared in 1947 on the 10th day of the Kartik in that time. So now he's almost 78 by bodily age. Just now the Vyas Puja was there some days back. But in spite of such age, then he travels not only within India to many places throughout the world. He'll go from here to Europe and then back to America, then to Australia. 6 months in a year they travel, he and Mataji. And then 6 months they are there in Austin. They're based in Austin and they're based in Vrindavan also. And they have the deity, Shri Shri Radha Damodar, which are personally worshipped by His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And they take very good care of them. The standards at home are like temple standard only, 6-time offering, arti and everything there. So they engage in deity worship, they engage in preaching, they engage in communicating with the devotees and guiding them, training them, the disciples, and staying at the Dham, Holy Dham. And Pune has one of the places where we get their association. So this time Prabhuji has come for almost 2 weeks, and the last few times we were trying to bring him here at BCEC, but it couldn't become possible because of short time. I think it's the first time here? Second time, first time also again. Yeah. So let's cherish our good fortune and let us welcome him here at BCEC by once loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We will circulate the chits, and many of you may not have the pen. You can buy, take from neighbor or somebody. But if you write the question, and sure enough, your question will get answered in a most memorable and wonderful and practical way. That's the specialty. That's the special empowerment Krishna has given. All the how to question and what to question, solidly answered with full conviction and full realization of 54 years of intense practice. Just to give a sample of his intensity, every day for the last 54 years, he chants his japa from 2:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. We chant after Mangal Arati. So you can imagine the quality and the intensity of chanting, and then throughout the day he's busy in services and preaching. He had read all Prabhupada's books, letters, conversations, arrival addresses, everything. So he's very deeply absorbed in Srila Prabhupada's mood of compassion and sharing the mercy of Srila Prabhupada with all of us. So please feel free. Write your questions. After a short class, we will be answering the questions. Hare Krishna.
So the drummer, you should make sure to follow my beat. It's hard to do rhythm on the harmonica. The harmonium, but sometimes they speed up, but if you're getting off the track, I'll let you know. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopitanda Ballabha Girivaridhari. Gopitanda Ballabha Girivaridhari. Sasoda Nandana Prajadana Ranjana. Sasoda Nandana Prajadana Ranjana. Jamanachera Vanachari. Jamanachera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopitanda Ballabha Girivaridhari. Gopitanda Ballabha Girivaridhari. Sasoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Sasoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Jamanachera Vanachari. Jamanachera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govardhana. Coming in for a safe landing. All right. Now we go a notch higher, Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, I have it here, so I can't. But I'll touch my head. The book appears. Put that here. All right. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 6, text number 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Svacham Ashvanir Bhinnam Vivishar Jishnum Oshadhi Angshena Mamabi Kandhum Yarasa Pratipanyate Svacham Ashvanir Bhinnam Vivishar Jishnum Oshadhi Angshena Mamabi Kandhum Yairasa Pratipanyate Tatsamasyavanir Bhinnam Divishar Jishnamoshadi Angshena Mamabi Dandam Yairasa Pratipanyate.
Vivishur Dishnamoshadi अंशेन रोमभिकण्टुम् यैरसौ प्रतिपद्यते
प्रतिपद्यते त्वचमस्य विनिर्भिन्ना विविशुर्धिष्ण्यमोषधीः अंशेन रोमभिकण्डू यैरसौ प्रतिपद्यते
अंशेन रोमभिकण्डुम् यैरसो प्रतिपद्यते
Ayvaso Prabhupada Nandamasya Nirbhinam Yavishar Vishnamaushari
Amsena Romabhikandum Yeresho Pratipadyate
Ayvaso Prabhupada Tatsamasya Vadirminam Yavishar Vishnamaushari
Kandum
Shenamabhikandum
Yairaso Pratipadyate
Ayvaso Prabhupada Ladies,
Tvachamasya vinirbinnam
Taptamasya Vadirminam
Vivishudhishanam oshadi
Vivishar Vishnamaushari
Amshena romabhi kandum
Shenamabhikandum
Yairasu pratipadyate
Yairasa Prabhupada
त्वचमस्य विनिर्भिन्नां
Taptamasya Vadirminam
विविशुर्धिष्णमोषधि
Vivishar Vishnamaushari
अंशेन रोमभिकण्डुम्
Shenamabhikandum
यैरसो प्रतिपद्यते
Yairasa Prabhupada Oh, mucus. Ridiculous body. Tvacham, skin. Asya, of the gigantic form. Vinirvinam, being separately manifested. Nivishu, entered. Vishnam, the controlling deity. Oshadi, sensations. Angshena, with parts, Brahmavi, through the hairs on the body. Kantum, itching, Yai, by which, Aso, the living entity, Pradipadyate, experiences. Translation in purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. When there was a separate manifestation of skin, the controlling deities of sensations and their different parts entered into it, and thus the living entities feel itching and happiness due to touch. Purport. For sense perception, there are two principal items, touch and itching. And both of them are controlled by the skin and hairs on the body. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the controlling deity of touch is the air passing within the body, and the controlling deity of the hairs, and the controlling deity of the hairs on the body is Oshadhya. For the skin, the object of perfection is touch, and for the hairs on the body, the object of perception is itching. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sangrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shab Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svamaniti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Devi Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So, today we're talking about skin. Isn't it? Today we're having a skin class. They have these schools for people who want to become, the beauty parlor. They learn about skin. But we're touching about skin in a different way today. Actually, the material society is based on the happiness of the skin. Yeah. The tongue, the genitals, the skin. So it's even a saying, beauty is only skin deep. It's actually a very good saying. But they don't really know about it. I don't know about in India, in America, it said beauty is only skin deep. But they don't realize how significant that statement actually is. If you go inside the skin, what do you have? Mucus, bile, urine, stool. So we have Maya Devi is very, very expert. She's taken a bag of stool, urine, mucus, and pus and made it very attractive. Romeo, Juliet. You see? Oh, we're enamored by this beauty of the skin, you see. Skin disease, it's called. So we're suffering from something called skin disease. We're attracted a woman, or a man. Or nowadays, they look the same sex also. They're attracted to the skin, you see. So, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, how do we get free from this skin disease? We come out of the skin disease culture. How do we get free from it? How do we get liberated from it, you see? That's the challenge we face. We neophyte devotees, we face that challenge, how to get free from this attraction to the skin. Vishayavani vartante niraha rashidehina rashvasangmajo prasha parang vismani vartate. The embodied soul may be attracted to sense and may be addicted to sense enjoyment, but by getting a higher taste, he can give it up. So this is the real challenge we face, going around a material society where everybody is running after the skin. And they say, sangat sanjayate kama, one develops one's consciousness according to one's association. So how do you live in a society without being contaminated by it? You see, that's the challenge, you see. How to live in a material skin disease society without being infected by that skin disease. Or actually, we're already infected. Now how to get free from the infection, you see. Prabhupada's the doctor, you see. He gives us the medicine how to get out of the skin disease. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. But we see many people come into our movement, they even get initiated, but when they leave, they go back to skin disease. Why? I got initiated with two other boys. There was Sankarshan Das, Pulascha, and Parashara. Within a year, the two have left. They've both gone. Why? Why devotees even get initiated? They're chanting 16 rounds, a Dodi, a Kurta, Kantimala, Tilak, but they go away. Why? Because they didn't learn how to chant purely the name, you see. There's Nama Parad, Nam Bhasha, and Shuddhanam, you see. So the challenge we neophytes, we Nama Paradi's face is, so we don't go back to skin disease culture. that is the challenge we face is how to come to Shuddha Nam. That's why we would chant the 10 offenses in the temple in the morning, you see. We have to learn how to taste and actually relish Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So let's talk about what's relishable about it, you see. That can help us to have faith, you see. What is relishable about Hare Krishna mantra? Why is it worth pursuing? Why is it worth absorbing ourselves in it, you see? That's worthy of discussion, you see. Well, it's Krishna himself, but why is Krishna attractive? You see? So we have to have a philosophical understanding, actually. There's Gyan and there's Vigyan. Gyan means theoretical knowledge, and Vigyan is practical application. But you understand the principle, and then you apply the principle, then you become pakka, solid, you see. So we have to have a proper understanding. That's why Prabhupada has given us so many books. You know, when he told me in my initiation letter, study all our literature. It's not just for selling or gathering dust on the bookshelf. It's for studying, you see. We have to become very eager to read Prabhupada's books regularly, every day. Reading, practicing, distributing, reading, everything. You see. There's so many things. And why are the books so attractive, you could ask? Well, you know what? Just imagine if you go and have a private darshan with Prabhupada right now. He's sitting in his quarters and he wants you to come for a private darshan. Wouldn't that be something else? I can go and meet Prabhupada all alone, just me and Prabhupada all alone. He's waiting there and his servant has come. Prabhupada wants to see you. Wow, just imagine, it'd be like the ultimate experience, like meeting Krishna Radharani directly, you know what I mean? Well, it's right there in the books. It's right there in the books. It's you and Prabhupada together. Have your own interaction with each other, you see. So Prabhupada is personally present in every book, every word. His translations are his purports are his, and if you read these books, you get connected with His Divine Grace Om Vishnupad Padamahamsa Parivajakacarya Astatarasadhashi Shrimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And I can tell you that developing that relationship with Prabhupada will make you fixed up, you see. If you learn how to make and you're say, well, I'm just a grand disciple. No, Prabhupada said the grandfather is more affectionate than the father. So you grandchildren, you get special mercy from Prabhupada. The grandfather is more affectionate than the father, Prabhupada one time said. So don't feel left out. I'm a grand disciple. You know. The grand disciples get very special mercy, you see. Very, very special mercy from Prabhupada. One of my students just wrote me they were dreaming about Prabhupada, and they were crying in ecstasy. Prabhupada was blessing him in the dream, you see. So the whole point is by Sangha, with Srila Prabhupada, with the followers of Srila Prabhupada, with the deities, with the name, the prasadam, all these things, the beautiful movement we have here, the wondrously splendorous, magnificent movement we have given to us by Prabhupada. By this Sangha, we can actually get a higher taste. And then what we can do, if the skin disease comes back, is I like to quote this verse. It's one of my favorite verses. Jamunacharya Albandra of South India. You know the verse? Yeah, he knows it. He was previously a king, and kings had full facility for skin enjoyment in the harem, right? But now he's become a sadhu. And then Prabhupada describes his mood in the Nectar Devotion as ecstatic love in the rasa of ghastliness. Can you imagine that ecstatic love and ghastliness? Well, here's the sloka. Yadavani mamma chaita krishna padara vinde nama nama rasa damunyatam rantumasip Tadavare Bhattanari Sangame Smaramane Bhavati Mukhu Bhavati Varamukhu let's see. Bhavati Mukha Vikara Shushtu Nastim Chamcha. Ever since I've been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, tasting Nava Nava Rasa, newer and newer rasa tastes in that service. Whenever I get enlivened by the idea of skin enjoyment, sex pleasure with a woman, my lips curl with this space and I spit at the thought, you see. So, we have to be good spitters. Not literally, I'm not going to spit on the... not going to spit her on the awesome, but in our minds, yes. So this is, we have to spit at the thought of a sense enjoyment, skin pleasure, sex. Spit at it, sex. Of course, our householders, they can have divine sex according to religious principles. But other than that, sex is nasty business, like a toilet bowl. It's nasty. So in this way, we can philosophically attach ourselves from the sex pleasure and go to the supreme pleasure of Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Pahi Mam, Krishna, 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 Raksamam, Rama, Raghava, Rama, 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 Raksham, Krishna, 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 Pahi Mam. And then another thing, we're getting on that wheel, that Krishna Bhakti reel. Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness means Bhakti Rasa. Rasa means taste. So if you're not tasting the nectar of Bhakti, you're not Krishna conscious. You have to taste Bhakti Rasa as Krishna consciousness. If you're not tasting the Rasa, you're missing out, Prabhu. You're missing out, Mataji. If you're not tasting the sweetness of Krishna, then you're spaced out. What can I say? You're not focused, you see. Sometimes it's called splayed intelligence. You're not, it's like, splayed and like, but focused, we have to be focused, you see. Tune in, turn on, and bliss out, right? You see. Just like I remember my dad, my good old dad, he liked Krishna consciousness. He wasn't a devotee, but he appreciated our movement. But I remember in the old days, there was no internet, and television was just the new thing, but radio was the big thing. And my dad's, but there was a thing called FM radio. You had two channels of stereo. You could tune in and get stereo. My dad was into that. And so we had to tune it just right to get both channels would come through. So my dad would do that. He'd get on the FM radio and tune it and fine-tune it to get that nice stereo out of the radio. Well, we got to be tuned in like that, We've got to really tune in, you see. To really tune in, you see. Fine-tune that focus. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is meditation, you see. We have to, the mind keeps in mind. What does Krishna say? Yato nischalati manas chanchalam tatastatam nayanya tat atmanya vivashamya. From whatever and wherever the mind wanders, do its flickering, unsteady energy, one simply withdraw it and bring it back under the soul, control of the self. You got to train that mind. The mind needs don't try to understand Prabhus and Manajis. Your mind needs training. It's like a wild dog. It's like a monkey, one of those monkeys in Vrindavan, You have to bring your mind, you got to train that mind how to fix by hearing the classes or speaking the classes. Whatever you're doing, whether you're offering an arati, you see. Take every opportunity to focus your mind. Just like I really enjoy offering the Tulsi arati that I did this morning. It's a great opportunity to focus, you see. So when you do that, you actually burn through the coverings. I did some research on it. A laser beam, which means highly focused light, can burn through 2 inches of steel. Wow. A light can burn through 2 inches of steel? My little flashlight can't do that. But a laser beam can do that. So we have to have a laser beam consciousness. How thick is the covering between here and Golok? How thick is it? But a laser-focused mind can burn through, no matter how long it is, can burn through those coverings and actually enter into Goloka Vrindavan. And it's interesting to know, Bivamangala Thakur, he was sitting for 700 years as a blind man in Vrindavan, and Krishna was bringing him milk so he wouldn't starve. But he could actually enter in Goloka Vrindavan by his consciousness while his body was sitting on this planet. So there's incredible potency if you bring your mind under control and focus, you see, on Krishna, 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 the supreme lovable object. You see, the Mayavadis, they also want to focus. They want to focus on Brahman. But that will not actually bring them. They get liberated in one sense. If they do, what is that verse? If I can remember it. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the meditators of whom, how's it go? No, that's the wrong verse. Only the tip of the toe is lotus. Only the tip of the toe whose lotus feet are approached by the yogis after thousands of millions of years. So these yogis and the gyanis, they're trying to focus, but they're not going in the mood of bhakti. You see, they mechanically are trying to focus. But as I explained in the class the other day at NVCC, you may actually enter the spiritual dimension, but you're not really there. So how is that? It seems contradictory, doesn't it? They enter the spiritual world, but they don't enter the spiritual world. They attain Brahman, but they don't. So here's a nice example I gave the other day. Let's say you want to go to New York City, but you don't have a visa. But somehow they accidentally let you on the airplane, right? And you land there, I'm in New York. And you go to passport control, get out. You're not, right? You're not allowed to enter the country. Even though you're there, you're not there. So these Paramabhadis, these Mayavadis, Brahmavadis, they can actually enter, but they don't really enter, you see. If you want a visa, you have to become a devotee. You see, devotees have a visa to enter the pastimes of Krishna. They don't. You see, so that's why we don't waste our time with Mayavadi or yogis. You see, you understand? You understand? You understand this point? We don't waste our time with these things. We focus on Krishna's instructions, the Bhagavad Gita. You see, because Krishna is telling us exactly what we need to do to become one of his eternal associates in the spiritual sky. We actually already are. Did you know that you have an identity in Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world? Do you know that? You actually already have an identity, but you ran away from it trying to think maybe there's something's better, like a cow sticking his or her head through the fence, thinking the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. We thought maybe it's better on the other side, where I can be God. So we tried it, it didn't work out. So now, out of the millions and billions of people here in this material world, the living entities, somehow we have gotten the opportunity to get back to who we actually are. Get back to being who we actually are. That's our philosophy. Why shoot yourself by misidentification with this skin disease? You see, come back to being who we actually are. That's what Prabhupada is asking us to do. So let's do it. Okay? You have any questions? All right. Challenges. Oh, by the way, I love doubts, by the way. If you have any doubts, bring them forward. I love doubts. How to develop eagerness to read Srila Prabhupada's books in spite of a very much busy life. Yeah, one of my disciples, he's in the jewelry business. Successful business. diamonds, the jewelry, very, always, it was very busy man, the jewelry business. So I said, read 1 page every day and give me a report. For 1 month, I want a report. And the first day he read 3 pages. So here's the thing, if you're super busy, just read 1 page every day and keep a bookmark. I can guarantee you busy people who have no time to read, you do have the time to read 1 page. If you see you don't have time to read 1 page, you're lying. You're cheating. You all have time to read 1 page, 5 minutes. You all have the time to and keep a bookmark. I recommend the Nectar Devotion. That's my favorite one for reading a page. I'd read a chapter every day of Nectar Devotion. That's my vrata. Every day. I've already read, yesterday read the preface, today I read the introduction. I'm going through it again and again. This is my 4th time through now. Every day, every time I get more and more nectar out of it. Any book, Gita, whatever you're inspired by, to read 1 page or 1 verse, whatever, where even 1 page is okay, if you have the long purport. But read 1 page every day, keep a bookmark, and I guarantee you your life will be transformed. You'll develop transcendental vision. It's called Shastra Chaksus. You'll be able to see things through the eyes of Scripture. It's like you have glasses on, right? Without your glasses, it's all blurry, isn't it? You see? So, take on the transcendental glasses of seeing everything through the eyes of Prabhupada's books, you see. Learn to see through the eyes of Prabhupada's books, and the whole world will become like a magical, mystical wonderland. You see, dirty India with all the trash everywhere? Yes. It will become a magical, mystical wonderland because you'll see everything in relationship with Krishna. And what your duty is to make a difference in this planet, you see. Because you can become a spiritual revolutionary, and you develop that feeling and the potency and the intelligence how to be a spiritual revolutionary. It's by 1 page every day. If you don't believe me, try it. Read one. Who's willing to read 1 page every day of Prabhupada's books? Now keep your word. You just put your hand up in the court that you hold your hand. I swear that I do. Now you've given me your word. If you don't do it, you're a liar, and you're an offender. All right? So you must do it now. 1 page every day. Everyone has time to read 1 page, and you'll get addicted to it. Maybe I can do 2 pages now or 3. Just try it, and you'll love it. Okay. While chanting, we struggle and fall again and again. Sometimes we become hopeless will we ever chant purely? Yeah. Well, what I really love is Bhaktivedanta Swami in this connection. My godbrother, Achyutananda, one of the first devotees who went to India, he went to Bengal, he learned Bengali. He's a great singer. I don't know where he is now, but he was one of the first, famous kirtan singers in ISKCON, Achyutananda Swami, back in the old days. And he translated this song from Bengali to English in poetic way. It was beautiful. So I like to sing that, and it's very good for getting hope for chanting. Kambe hambe bolo se dinamar. When will that day be mine? Aparada Gucci, Shunaname Ruchi, Kripa Bole Hambe Hridoye Sanchar. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine? Kambe Hambe Bolo Se Dinamar. When will that day be mine? So, if you hanker like that, right now I'm a namaparati, my mind's going here and there, everywhere, looping the loop around the Milky Way or whatever. When I try to chant my japa, when will that day come? I become a pure chanter. I guarantee you, whoever wrote this, if you keep hankering like this, you keep, like you've written here, you keep this hankering going, Krishna will bless you, you see. I know I'm not a pure chanter, but I'm begging for that day I will become a pure chanter. But I know by that hankering, Krishna will bless me. That day is coming. That day will come. Keep the desire burning in your heart. When will I become a pure chanter? And when will I become a pure chanter? Then the day will come, you see. It will come. Prabhupada challenged me. He told me, in Sankarshan Das Brahmachari, he said, all material desire is zero. And he said, whether you can be like that. But I know on my own I have no power to do that. But by Prabhupada's mercy, I know I can become happily free of all material desires. So in that way, you keep the hankering, understand by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, even though I'm a hopeless namaparati, by their mercy, that day will come. I'm hankering, when that day came, keep hankering for that day. The more you hanker, the quicker it will come. How to overcome sleep during japa and classes? Stand up. Simple thing, sleep. Or you can try your posture. If you're slouching, and try sitting straight. That helps too. Or take notes. Take notes on the class. That helps too. I'm struggling from it from the bit. Yeah, that's take notes. Sit straight, or sit close to the front so the lecturer won't see you if you're nodding off, and he can catch you. Sit like that's one other technique. Okay, how to control lust? Wow, that's a tough one. Kamadev, he's out there with his little quiver and his air, boom, boom, boom. Lust, Well, when lust comes, it's like, let's say there's a fire in your house. What do? You sit peacefully. You put off the fire alarm. In America, you call 911 for the fire truck. If there's a fire in your house, it's an emergency. So if lust is coming, it's like a fire has erupted in your house. And then maybe a little fire in the beginning, but if you let it go wild, you can fall down and run for a woman, go for a prostitute. You know what I mean? So when lust comes, and this is an emergency, it's a very drastic emergency. You had to do something to get my mind off this damn lust. And there may be some bhajan that you really love, or some lecture. I know a lecture I really love is Prabhupada's arrival interview in London in '69. You ever heard that one? You heard that? It's amazing. Devotees are so fired up of the early days. Prabhupada said, yes, the boys and girls are very enthusiastic. And they went, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. They go Haribo again and again. Every word that Prabhupada said, they go Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. They're so fired up. So that's a really good one to get your mind off lust. Just to tap into the enthusiasm of those devotees in London back in the '69. Okay. As it is very rare to get personal association of my spiritual master, let me tell you about that one in a minute. How to develop faith and surrender for our immediate service. I'll just tell you, I was not a big leader. I just a rank and file brahmachari, went soldier out there in the ranks, I won the sannyasi, a GBC, temple president. So I had no access to go on the morning walks. I wasn't like, I could just walk in for the darshans. No. I was out there in the ranks somewhere, one of the thousands of devotees out there in the ranks. And in our temple, the book distributors that collected money, they went to Mayapur, and I was just distributing prasadam, and I had to stay back. And they would come back and say, Prabhupada did this, Prabhupada. I would hear what Prabhupada had done and said. I was out there distributing prasadam. We made devotees by it. That's why Prabhupada liked it. But we made a lot of devotees by prasad distribution. But I didn't go. So I stayed back. I missed again and again and again Prabhupada's association. So, of course, my good luck was, when I'd been recruited there in Austin, Vishnu Swami attracted me to join the ashram. And I would inquire from him. I said, and then one day he said, I don't know, why don't you write Prabhupada? Wow, I can write Prabhupada? So I started writing letters, and actually I got many letters from Prabhupada. So my secret was letters, not personal meetings. So I don't know about your spiritual master, but if you have a facility to write them, do it. I don't know. Some gurus have many, many disciples. I only have 400, so I write I answer every letter personally. I get letters every day, and that's part of my sadhana. Today I answered every letter that came in yesterday. That's my daily sadhana. Answered all the letters I answered every day. Answered in my email. It says Mac mail says yesterday. I go through the yesterday file. Every one of them, boom, 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 and I file. I have found them names and folders in my file for every single person who ever written me. And I think I sent about 40,000 emails since I got on Mac mail. About 40,000 emails I've written. So in my case, I give personal association as much as possible because I know how valuable it is by these letters. But what if your spiritual master he has thousands of disciples and he can't personally even answer your letters? What to do then? Well, I mean, now I can't write Prabhupada letters. I mean, it's been since 77, I haven't been able to write them. So how have I connected since 1977? Well, one thing is, the spiritual master, as he told us in Atlanta, is personally present in his instructions. So if you actually hear the lectures of your spiritual master, you're having your own private darshan with him. He's fully present in every word coming out of his mouth. So you don't need the physical presence is not that important. The vani, or the vibrational presence, that's what's important. So if you learn, and you can also pray to him, and those prayers actually connect with him through the mercy of the super soul. Whether consciously or unconsciously, you're actually making a connection with him. It's an eternal bond. So pray to him, beg for his mercy. We have all these prayers of praying to the spiritual master. They're not just some fancy words. They are scientific ways given by the Acharyas of how to connect with the spiritual master. Shri Guru Charana Padma, etc. You see. Samsaradava Bande Gurushi. These things actually give you an intimate connection with your spiritual master. So do these things with feeling. And you'll actually develop a very intimate, tight connection with your spiritual master on the vibrational level. So maybe that helps a little bit. Oh, wow, we got a huge stack. I love it. But we're supposed to end in 10 minutes. But as I also say, you haven't reckoned 10 minutes of Brahma. Let me take it up so I can read this with my, let's see. Take a little help here from mine. Let's see. Help me read these things. Yeah, it makes it easy. How can we, I'll answer more briefly now. How can we give our best to serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada and serve? How can we give our best? We'll pray for him. Krishna, please bless me. I can do the best possible service from every thought, word, and deed. And Krishna will help you to do that. Just beg for him. Sincerely beg for him. I know my service is 10th class. My dear Lord, please bless me. My service becomes first class, and Krishna will hear that, and he'll help you. Definitely. Okay. As you said, all living entities come in this material world due to envious of the Lord, but it is very difficult to understand how these many living entities become rebellious even in the spiritual world. Such a nice atmosphere is there. That's an interesting question. How one could fall down? You said. I've answered it many times. It's a mathematical answer. Any mathematicians here? Any math majors here? No? Anyway, I made straight A's in maths. But anyway, what is a mathematical possibility that somebody want to leave the spirit? We do have free will, so the odd chance is already there. What would be the mathematical possibility that somebody want to leave the spiritual world? 1 divided by infinity. You see? It's possible, but it's so impossible, it's practically impossible. You see? So 1 divided by infinity is we're talking about probability statistics now. 1 divided by infinity is the probability that a living entity can leave the spiritual world. But how many living entities are there? Infinite. So do the math. 1 divided by infinity times infinity equals infinity. So using the math system called probability statistics, we've just found out how someone could fall down. All right, let's see. Let's see here. All right. When I associate with brahmacharis, let's see, brahmacharis, I feel like remaining celibate, but after associating with grihasthas, I feel like I enter the grihastha ashram. Well, I just want to tell you, a real brahmachari is transcendental. I don't know his name. One of your leading brahmacharis today at NVCC, I was really impressed. They're going around the Tulsi. I forget who his name. I don't know his name. He's one of the leaders there. Grihastha had his little boy, and the brahmachari, the father had the hand on one side, the brahmachari had on the other hand. They were dancing around. He was holding the kid's little hand, and that's a fixed-up brahmachari. He's not thinking of grihastha life. A fixed-up brahmachari is transcendental to ashrams. He's in the mood of giving Krishna to everyone. So it means you're not fixed-up brahmachari. That's all. You see, a fixed-up brahmachari can associate, of course, with women. He's always careful. He doesn't. But with grihastha men, he can easily associate with grihastha men and little children without ever thinking, I should become a grihastha. So it means you're not a fixed-up brahmachari. So it's your choice. If you want to go to grihastha life, we don't mind. But if you want to, you can be a fixed-up brahmachari and associate with little children and grihastha men and remain fixed in brahmachari. Okay. All right. How long you have been with Srila Prabhupada? How long you have been with Srila Prabhupada? Well, since 54 years. I'm with him at every minute. I'm with Prabhupada right now. I'm with Prabhupada 24 hours a day since 1971, 54 years. Okay. Please tell us some incidents. All right, I'll give you one. I gave it the other day. I'll tell it again. This is really... I was just a young Bhakta Steve, and living in Los Angeles, and Prabhupada would go on the morning walk. He'd come back, all the devotees line up along the sidewalk on the pathway to his quarters on the side of the temple. So every devotee had a flower, and Prabhupada had a basket of flowers. Prabhupada would come down the line, you give Prabhupada a flower, he'd give you a flower. You'd have your own one moment of one-on-one, just you and Prabhupada exchanging flowers. It was really sweet. So I got my flower as about number 3 in the line, and I wanted to get another darshan of Prabhupada. Seeing Prabhupada, I call it drinking Prabhupada into your heart through your eyes. So I wanted to have another glimpse of him as he came by on the way to his quarters. And he had already finished the line of devotees, and now he was walking along the sidewalk. And he saw me standing there looking at him, and he wondered, well, here's a devotee who's not in the flower queue. I wonder if he's gotten a flower or not. So Prabhupada held up a flower, like body language. Did I get one yet? Like no words, just body language. Like, and they held, yes, I got one, Prabhupada. So that was really special. What I realized is Prabhupada takes every single disciple, and grand disciple also, is the most dear person in all of existence. I mean, just like Krishna with all his queens in Dwarka, every queen felt, well, I have Krishna all to myself, what about those poor other queens? You see? But Prabhupada treated every single disciple as if he's the most important person in the whole world. Let's see. And I get very little association. Another example, because all the volume of correspondence got so big, Prabhupada didn't have time to answer all the letters anymore. So he said, okay, from now on, only temple presidents, GBC, sannyasis, and that's it, to the rank and file. So, oh my God, I was devastated. That was my connection. So I thought, well, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to violate the policy. But I won't put my name and return address, so maybe it'll get through security. And Prabhupada wrote me back. He told me about the new policy, but he said, but if there's any urgent need, I'm always happy to hear from my beloved disciples. And I even cry thinking about it. Prabhupada gave me an exemption to the policy because I had that urgent need. But no, I didn't write any more letters because I knew I could whenever I wanted to, but I didn't have the need anymore, you see. That's the mercy of Prabhupada. Here's some devotee who didn't want to follow the policy. But Prabhupada took the time to write to answer. I still have that letter. It's in the Veda base too. You can look at them. I still have that treasure. I have the original. I kept all the original letters. I have a special file, all the original letters that I got. They're still there in my ashram in Austin. So Prabhupada took the time and trouble, even though he was overburdened, he didn't care. Here's a disciple who needs to feel the connection with me through writing, and I will accept it. So that's Prabhupada's kindness, his love. Okay. How do we get rid of the feeling of stagnating in spiritual life? Get fired up. I'm very fired up, I'll tell you the truth. Prabhupada told us, Indians got the order to deliver the world by Lord Chaitanya. The Indians. Anybody who's taken birth in the land of India, they told to deliver the world. But Lord Chaitanya didn't tell the Americans and the Europeans. Only the Indians he told them. Bharata Bhumi. But then Prabhupada told us in Los Angeles in 1973, all the Americans and the Europeans deliver the world. So now we're all included. What about the Aussies? No, Prabhupada's mood is everyone. I don't care if you're from Fiji or whatever. Everybody has South Africa, doesn't matter. But Prabhupada literally said Americans and Europeans. So anyway, I embrace that order as my life and soul. In fact, I'm so determined that I must carry out Prabhupada to deliver the world. I repeatedly make the vow that I will stay in the cycle of birth and death until every single living entity in the mature world goes back to God. That's my personal vow. And that keeps me pretty fired up. And so sickness is a mercy for me because it can be very hellish to be in a womb. So being sick is a good mercy for me. Helped me get practice for being the next womb, you see. But of course, my dear Lord, please bless me. I can deliver the whole world before I leave the body. That's my first choice. But it seems impossible. I mean, absolutely impossible. Prabhupada said impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. Anything can happen. We just have determination to revolutionize this planet and even the whole multi-universes. If you embrace this kind of a mood, you can always be fired up. It's called the preaching mood. Why not embrace a revolutionary preaching mood? Why not? Is there any reason not to? Did you realize that you're praying every day to deliver the world? Did you know that? Bahir Nasingha Hridaye Nasingha. How does Prabhupada translate that? Let my mind become clean so I can purely worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Did you know you're praying every day in the string of prayers that you can make the whole world Krishna conscious? Bahir Nasingha means the whole world Krishna conscious. You're actually praying every day in the string of prayers. According to Prabhupada's translation, it's not my invention. It's right there in the purport. Prabhupada says, let my mind become clean so I can peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. You're praying to make the whole world, personally make the whole world Krishna conscious when you sing the string of prayers. So next time, put a little more feeling in the string of prayers and see what happens to your consciousness. These tricks work. They work. I'm telling you techniques that work. We want to get fired up. Get out of the stagnation mode. Don't be fried out. Be fired up. Okay. That was the old saying in ISKCON. Prabhu, I'm fried. Prabhu, I'm fried. So don't be fried. Be fired up. To make a to revolutionize your consciousness and revolutionize the entire material world. Go for it. Say, but it's impossible. But it's possible according to the Itihasa Samuchaya. Do you know that sloka? It's in the purport. Narada Muni told Pundarik, Janmantana Sahasveshu Yashasadmurni Nishi Dasaham Badaveshasa Sarvalokam Samudaya. After thousands of births, when realized I'm the eternal servant of Krishna, he can deliver everybody back to God. That's right there in Prabhupada's books. That's in the purport. So, why be stagnated when you can be a revolutionary, you see? That's why I was, actually, as he pointed out, see, I was a young college student. I was looking for a career, what career, I was, making good grades in college. What should be my career? And then one night, I was looking for self-realization. I got cheated by many bogus gurus. But one night, a friend of mine said, chant this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And something turned on inside my heart. It's like, boom. Something turned on and said, okay, here's my career path. Be a holy beggar in India. That was my career path. Give up college, give up my family, just go to India as a penniless holy beggar. That was my career choice. Nati, deny everything. But on the way to India, I had a very profound realization. This is all in my book, by the way, Divine Love Memoir. It's back there for sale after the class. But I had a realization. I was doing nati, deny, like the Mayavadis. I don't know how this came, but I was doing nati, deny. It came up within me somehow or other. But I had one night a very profound realization. I denied and I denied until I could deny a little longer, and then I had to start accepting. So, you see, if you want to be a perfect nati vadi, you have to ultimately do nati and nati. Because nati is also something. You have to do nati and nati also. And then I realized, what's there to do now? I have to accept something transcendental, deliver the world. So I tried to do it on my own. It didn't work out, but I learned from Prabhupada to do it. Took me a while, but I tried on my own through being a singer-songwriter, hundreds of songs and attracting people. Anyway, let's see. I did not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name. Can you please explain this statement in detail? First offense. You have to philosophically understand Krishna Nama avatar. Do you have, my dear Prabhu Mataji, do you have faith in Krishna? The name and Krishna are one and the same. If you have faith in Krishna, you must have faith in the name. If you don't have faith in the name, it means you don't have faith in Krishna either. So that's a whole, we should have a whole session, one-on-one session, help you understand why you should have faith in Krishna and why faith in the name. That's a whole class. I don't have time, it's already 6 minutes over. Maybe I can touch a few high points. You have to go back to the basic philosophy and understand there must be a God. You have to come to that point also. The atheists say that everything came out of nothing, but nothing, where's the scientific evidence of anything coming out of nothing? Everything comes from something which came from something which came from something. You go back to the original something, now you found a God. Now you found God, you see. And God himself, being the source of everything, has perfect knowledge, unlimited power, etc. And he himself has stated that he is fully present in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, that's on the theoretical level. Now, on the practical level, let me just assume, for the sake of making an experiment, let me just assume, on an experimental level, that Krishna and his name are the same. And let me just say, if Krishna was actually his name, what it would be like if I chant. So just try it. Just theoretically experiment with, if Krishna and his name are the same, let me just try it. See, but actually Krishna is fully experienced within his name. Everything is there, his name, his fame, his pastimes, the gopis, the gopas, the cows, and Govardhan Hill. It's all there within Krishna, the two syllables Krishna. So just try to understand this and try chanting in the early morning before sunrise, before the mode of passion comes in. Just try chanting in the early morning, the meditative time of the day. Spend a few minutes going Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and see what the result is. Palena parachiyate, judged by the result. Okay, and I guarantee you, if you follow my instructions, you'll get faith. Oh my goodness, the doctor's orders, one half hour before Prashadam. Okay. Skin disease. All right. Okay, concession for skin. All right. I only got 2 more. Unless more come rolling in. Okay, let's see. Prabhuji, we have 2 young kids going to school. They like to come around 5:30 a.m. to the temple for chanting, but we lose doing our individual chanting in the morning as we have to make them ready. What should we do? It's simple. Get up early and chant your rounds before you bring them to the temple. My wife gets up at 1 a.m. She does 32 rounds a day. So go to bed very early, very, very early. I get up at 2:30. That's my program. And I got all my rounds done, you see. I'll be honest, after 54 years, I can chant fast rounds. I chant very fast, and it's really focused, ecstatic, and it's fast. Because after 54 years, what can you say? So I can get all my rounds done, and get up at 2, get all my rounds done before 4:30. And so I do it. I chant my rounds early in the morning. So that's what I recommend. You got to get up early enough. You get all your rounds done. You're completely ecstatic. Your rounds are done. You can bring the kids to the temple, and you can have a Krishna conscious atmosphere in your home. Okay. What does the taste feel like? How do we know we are doing Krishna consciousness properly? Well, you lose your taste for sense enjoyment. That's a simple thing. You know you're getting your taste for Krishna consciousness when you're no longer interested in material sense gratification, when you want to reject it, you see. So when Maya knocks on your door, you say, no, thank you. Higher taste is coming when you're no longer running after material sense enjoyment. That's when you know you're getting the taste. Simple thing. So now we'll call it quits on the questions and answers, and now the books are available. I can sign them. I need a pen. And by the way, I also have an e-course called, you have to go www.joincourse.com, and you can be in contact with me on a daily basis. Joincourse.com. www.joincourse. You can go on your smartphone. You can sign up right now if you want. Joincourse.com. Your name, your email address. Boom, you're in. And I'll send you something every day called Thought for the Day. There's weekly lessons, and you can also personally inquire from me whenever you want. And I'll personally answer you within about 24 hours, or 36 hours. Yeah. Okay, that's it? Now you want anything else?
So what's the Divine Love Memoir? This is about the journey Prabhuji had before got connected to Srila Prabhupada and then further in ISKCON. And there's another book called Fruitful. So this is a compilation of questions which he has been answering for decades altogether on email as well as in person. So they have been compiled in different sections. And there are many questions which actually we could not take up. So you can either take the book to work and find the answer there. It's all there, all the questions have been, everyone gets the same kind of question. Or you can go to the website, joincourse.com, and you can write a mail to Prabhuji and he will answer it personally on email also. So both ways is accessible and available. So we will take a book, Prabhuji personally sign it. And we'd like to express our gratitude and thanks in spite of the health situation. As you can see, that Prabhuji traveled all the way from ISKCON to BCEC. Even without traffic, it takes 45 minutes to get it. Traffic more. So let's express our gratitude and thanks for everyone already chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamudra.